Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of Sound Design Monday. Today we're going to be creating one of the leads from the drop of Proxy. We're going to be creating the second lead. We're not going to be creating the first one because I feel like everyone did a good job when they made their tutorials for the Martin Garrix remake. So today we're going to be focusing on creating the second one that was kind of a little bit hard for everyone to get in the remakes. I'm going to be using two versions of Silent 1 and this is how it's going to sound like. Whoops, fucked up. But anyways, that's what it's gonna sound like. And the key thing to this sound is gonna be a bandpass filter, which is a great tool. So if you don't know what a bandpass is, we're gonna be talking about that today, and we're gonna go towards what makes it sound. The key thing here is that these two patches are pretty much identical. The only difference is that the bandpass is changed. It's changed a little bit more differently where the cutoff is. So that's the key thing to the sound, and we'll talk about a little bit about the bandpass and so forth. Okay, so for oscillator 1, we're gonna go into a new version of Silent 1. We're gonna have it oscillator part A. Oscillator A1, we're gonna be having an octave down, with a saw wave, 6 voices, retrig on. Detuning at 1.52, and we're done there. Amp envelope A is gonna be like that by default. Oscillator A2 down an octave, 8 voices, retrig on, saw. No detunement, and pretty much just gonna stay like that. Now here's the key thing about this sound is it's a filter, bandpass, input select A only, 24 dB. You want to put the cutoff straight in the center with the resonance at 1.29 and the drive at 1.62. The main filter control, or master as I like to call it, the cutoff is set to 82.69 Hertz or between 11 and 12 o'clock. Resonance is at 10 o'clock or 2.24, and the key track is set to 1. Okay, so once we have this, we go to part B, where we'll be putting another down an octave saw, volume all the way up, detunement at 1.76, and we're going to put the phase at 92.57. Next thing we're going to do is leave the retrig on, 8 voices saw, amp envelope B like that by default. Oscillator B2, we're going to be putting another saw with 8 voices with the retrig off and up an octave. All these two, they're all down in octave, so they're a little bit more on the lower frequency than oscillator B2 is going to be. So you turn the retrig off on that, so it's more towards the sides. Pretty much what retrig does when it's on, it just makes the phase start over again. So it's going to give you kind of like that in your face, more out kind of effect. So that's what it's going to do by doing that. So we have here 8 detunement at 1.33. Volume is going to be down to 1.57. That should be it. We're going to go to filter B, where we'll put input select B only. Bandpass filter. Cutoff is set to 2 o'clock or at 733.96 Hertz. No resonance, and drive is set to 2.62 or 10 o'clock at 24 dB type filter for both of them. So once we have that, we're going to go into the distortion, where we're going to be putting a clip type distortion. The amount is at 3.62 and the dry and wet all the way up. We're going to apply a phaser as well. Dry and wet 19.05, width all the way up, LR offset center, spread at the center, and center frequency center, LFO rate at 4:1 tempo, LFO gain 0 and feedback 0. Next we go into the EQ, where we'll have a 1-pole EQ. What we're going to do is just leave the bass like these by default, and we're just going to put a little bit of the treble up to 8 dB at the frequency of 1443.79 Hertz, as you can see here. Reverb, we're going to leave it at 12. We're going to put some size 4.50, no pre-delay, dampness at 0, and width all the way up. So the last thing to do is just put mix A a little bit louder. Put down mix B a little bit. We're going to turn mono legato on, and this is another key part of the sound. We're going to put the mono legato here at around 11 or 12. And then we should be getting this sound. Now let's go into the second Silent 1. And pretty much what you're going to do is you have Silent. Just copy this one, and then just open up a new one, and it should be the same one. As you can see, I don't even know why it's called Martin Garrix Weird Sound 2, unless I did change them. Nah, they should be the same patch. Yeah, it should be the same. So, yeah, just duplicate it, and all we're gonna do is change our cutoff. So in part A, what you want to cut off at 12, resonance at 1.29. and drive at 1.62. The cutoff is going to be, again, the same, I believe. Yep, the same resonance. Nothing has changed. Part A. 12 resonance at 1.29. Yeah, so it's gonna be the same. And I think it's part B, the one we changed, I believe. There you go. So part B is the one where we're gonna do the change. We're gonna move the cutoff in part B to 46.78 hertz. And I believe that should be everything you need to do. So then you'll get this. Okay, so what a bandpass is pretty much, I like to call it as a low pass and a high pass put together. And the thing about the bandpass is that sorry, I'm a bit sleepy, is that you can it allows you to kind of be really unique in the way you get a sound out of it. As you know, filters are meant to cover certain things up. So anything inside this line bandpass you're gonna see is gonna be allowed to come out. So let's see. As you can see here, we're covering with a low pass. So now we put a bandpass type, and you can see here we have a bandpass, and pretty much all of this is coming out, but it's going in that characteristic that, okay, this is all covered, but then you got this and so forth. So then you can get unique, just certain frequencies out, and that's going to give you a certain type of, you know, characteristic of the bandpass. And then with your resonance, which is this, you can kind of be more, really more specific, as you can see what's happening there. So just remember that when you use a bandpass, the thing that's coming out is anything inside the filter. Everything, all of this black where the filter outside, let's say this triangle, is not going to be heard, but anything inside here is going to be heard. So that's pretty much what a bandpass is. It's not newbie friendly, that's all I can say, but once you learn how to use it, you'll love it. Especially if you're making Dutchy or Melbourne bounce type music, the bandpass is like one of the best tools to your arsenal whenever you're creating those type of sounds. Other cool things to do, which I haven't tried, and it's some of my ideas, to be honest, is applying a LFO to the bandpass and seeing how that would react and so forth. I bet it would get some really cool sounds as well. So maybe you guys should give it a shot before I do. I'm just saying. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna put these presets up on my, obviously on my Facebook page at World Music, and I'll see you guys next week.